I'm Meg Mike the Movie Man, and I have a mega movie plan. Today, I'm back with another Mega Movie News Roundup episode for you all. This is a segment on the channel where I cover the most important mega movie news stories to come out this week in movies and entertainment. So I have 5 stories for you all today, saving the most important one for the very end, which is the projections for Doctor Strange's 2 opening weekend box office. So make sure you stick around throughout the entire video to get all those good mega movie news stories. Also, if I forget any movie news story, make sure you email me at megamikethemovieman@gmail.com. That way I can feature your name and movie news topic in a future movie news episode. It's completely free, so definitely take advantage of that. But without further ado, let's get started. Now to get into our first mega movie news topic, and apparently we have Kevin Feige saying the Doctor Strange 2 trailers have given away too much. Well, let's take a look at this article here. This is brought to us by We Got This Covered, and the headline reads, Kevin Feige thinks Doctor Strange 2 trailers have given too much away. Let's read on here, get some more details. And yet, the various trailers, TV spots, teasers, clips, and more besides have given away several notable cameos that would have been guaranteed to bring the house down had they been kept under wraps. Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier and Haley Atwell's Captain Carter have already been confirmed, while the rest of the surprise guests have inevitably leaked online. Now, I'm glad I've been keeping away from that leak footage. So let's take a look. Let's read on a little bit more. We got a quote here from Feige. There's been too much in the trailers. I don't want to talk about anything else, but I will say Sam has made this movie to be experienced on as big a screen as possible, and it's even the first one in a long time that 3D was really taken into account too, because the first Doctor Strange film, I think, was our best film ever in 3D. And this one now will be right alongside that. Okay, so there's some positives there. Positives first, while this movie was made for the big screen. Yes, I mean, most Marvel movies are made for the theatrical experience. Of course, with those big action set pieces. So I'm really excited to go see this one in theaters. But now I'm getting even more excited to go see this one a second time, because it's saying that this movie was really made with the 3D presentation in mind. And that's pretty rare, because a lot of movies, they don't really focus too much on 3D. It's often an afterthought where they just kind of tack it on a little bit later, where it's like, oh, you know what, we can get some more money out of 3D. Let's add in a couple 3D scenes here and there. And it's really not a great 3D experience. But since this movie feels like it could actually really benefit from being 3D. I mean, we're in the multiverse of madness. I mean, wow, seeing things pop up at you out of the screen. I mean, this could be a really fun experience. So now I really want to go see this movie a second time in 3D as well. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty hyped for that. But let's go back to the negatives here. Feige is saying, once again, too much has been given away in the trailers and the TV spots, and I would agree with that. I think that these trailers have given, once again, those cameos away, like Xavier, Captain Carter, and to me, no, save that for the movie. Have that shocking experience where we see it in the theaters and we're like, oh my goodness, Professor Xavier just showed up? I mean, how amazing would that experience have been? But unfortunately, the trailers have already shown that, so we know he's going to be there. And to me, this has been an issue with trailers a lot, probably in the last decade, where they're giving more and more away. And I don't like that, but I get it from a business perspective. It's totally a marketing strategy. Once again, trailers, TV spots are made to get more people out to the audience, more people out to the theater, more people watching the movie on the big screen, right? Giving up that money. So yes, I get it from a marketing perspective. You want to put some things in the trailer to kind of entice people to go and actually see this movie on the big screen. But then it's kind of unfortunate for us fans that we're already going to go anyway, and we're like, oh man, I really would have liked that experience with being surprised with the whole audience together, just everybody gasping at once. I mean, that would have been such a fun experience. So it's tough. It's I see it both ways. We have to have enough in the trailers to excite people to get out to the theater, but then also we don't want to give too much away, because what will happen is if you hurt the theatrical experience overall, people aren't going to really want to go to the theaters. If they feel like, you know what, I kind of already seen it most in the trailers, I can really wait on this one, just let it go to streaming or to digital, and I can just get this one later. That could also hurt future audiences, right? More people wanting to go out to the theater, they may not want to go just because too much has been spoiled. So I could see it going both ways. So I think it's something the studios have to be cautious of. These marketing companies that put these trailers together, they have to be cautious of. You want to give kind of a tease, but not too much, because really you don't want to hurt that theatrical experience at the end of the day. And to me, well, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I can't say if this has really hurt the theatrical experience, but I will say, just guessing right now, I would have liked those cameos kept under wrap. I would have liked to have been more surprised personally, but that's just me. Let me know in the comments below, does these cameos being already shown in the trailer get you more hyped to go to the theater, or does this kind of sour your experience and you're more like, you know what, because I'm not going to be surprised as much, maybe I can wait off on this title and just see it later at home? Let me know however you're feeling in the comments below. Now to get into our second mega movie news story, and apparently we have an Amanda Waller series in development. Now let's take a look at this Variety article. The headline here reads, Viola Davis in talks to star as Amanda Waller in Peacemaker spin-off series at HBO Max. Alright, let's read a little bit more. Exact plot details are mostly under wraps at this point, but sources say the show will build off of Waller's appearance at the end of the Suicide Squad spin-off series, Peacemaker. Okay, so not too much details here, but at least we know this series is in development, going to HBO Max. We're gonna have Amanda Waller as the focus in this show, and that is fantastic because Amanda Waller is such a great character. I mean, I've always been fascinated with this character, and just seeing how she's portrayed in the Suicide Squad movies and then the Peacemaker show, you can see that she's really strong in what she wants to get done, and she'll stop at nothing to get it done, no matter what she has to do. She's a very ends justify the means kind of person, and just to see kind of her strong personality with that makes her for a very interesting character. So I've always been fascinated with this character, and I've enjoyed all the Suicide Squad content we've gotten so far. First, with the first Suicide Squad movie, I liked it more than most. Wasn't perfect, had a lot of flaws, but I got some joy out of it. But then once we got the Suicide Squad from James Gunn, oh my goodness, that movie, it was amazing. One of the best DC films they've ever done. Just so entertaining, combining action and comedy and just complete bonkersness. To me, that was an awesome movie. But then it didn't stop there. We got the Peacemaker show on HBO Max, and I think that is my favorite superhero show that's gone to a streaming platform of all time. Yeah, I'm gonna make that bold statement there and say, hey, that's been my favorite. Actually, more than any of those Disney Plus Marvel shows, I think I've been more entertained by Peacemaker on HBO Max. It was just such a funny show. John Cena was great in it, and all the characters were awesome. And that intro for Peacemaker, oh my goodness, just makes you want to get up and try to act out those dancing movements with a group. And wow, just a fun time. And eagerly, ooh, can't go wrong with that. So I'm excited for now another spin-off series focusing on Amanda Waller, because once again, a great character, very important character in the comics, very popular as well. People know the name Amanda Waller, especially after seeing all the Suicide Squad content. So I think if you're going to pick another spin-off show to go into from the Suicide Squad, I think Amanda Waller is actually a really good choice and probably a more safer choice, because you can do a lot with that character, interacting with, who knows, maybe a new Suicide Squad, or maybe they'll pick and choose some characters from the past Suicide Squad movies and Peacemaker show. Maybe it'll be a mixture of just a whole bunch of different characters we've seen before. That could work as well. But I'm just excited to see the focus be more on Amanda Waller, and hopefully it's a really good character study and we kind of dive into the mind of what Waller's thinking and why Waller does the things she does. Maybe it's an origin story in some aspects. I think that would be absolutely fascinating. So I'm excited for this announcement, and I hope they do push it through development and it comes out great as just an awesome series. Hopefully on the same level as Peacemaker, or at least pretty close to it, because that show was so great. But let me know in the comments below, are you excited for an Amanda Waller series? Do you think this is a good idea? And also, what did you think of the Peacemaker show overall? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now to get into our third mega topic, and we gotta talk about, is there gonna be a season 2 for Moon Knight? So let's look at this article that's brought to us by Deadline. The headline reads, Moon Knight EPs say season 2 of Marvel Disney Plus series up in the air. Ooh, that doesn't sound too good, but let's read on, get some more details here. Okay, Deadline asked the series' episodic director and EP Mohammed Diab whether he's expected to be back for more work on season 2. Quote, we don't know if there's a next season, Diab told Deadline today. Marvel doesn't go with a conventional way, so even if they like a character and want to extend the world, it could be season 2, it could be a standalone film, or he can join another superhero's journey, added the director of the season 1 finale. Now, okay, this is interesting. What this tells me is that we most likely will see this character in one way or another, but it just depends how we're going to get Moon Knight again. It could be a season 2, sure, but that hasn't been announced yet. So to me, something's telling me I don't think we're going to get a season 2. A lot of these other Disney Plus shows have got their season 2s announced, or at least a spin-off show. Remember, we got an Agatha show announced when we had the WandaVision season, and then we had a Loki season 2 announced when we had the Loki show. So it seems like if we were going to get a season 2 of Moon Knight, it would have been announced, but it could still happen. It is still a possibility. But if we don't get a season 2, we have some other options here. We could do a standalone film, which I think is a pretty good option, or we could do a film where this character shows up alongside a team of some sort, or maybe even this character shows up in another show with other superheroes being a focus as well. So it's like a team up in another season of streaming television, but it's not a Moon Knight season 2 specifically. That is another possibility. But I am pretty sure we're going to see this character once again. I really don't think they're going to say, you know what, no more Moon Knight, Moon Knight's gone. No, they did all this hard work to build this character up, and this character was really awesome. And I saw the season finale for Moon Knight, and I really liked it. I know some people had some issues with it. Yeah, maybe some plot holes in there, but from entertainment action standpoint, thought it was probably actually one of the funnest episodes there. So I really did enjoy it. And so I want to see the Moon Knight character again, just to see all Moon Knight's abilities are just so great looking on screen that we have to get this character back. Now, I'd probably, if I was picking personally, what would I most likely want to see? I'd probably go a standalone movie, just because I'm more of a movie person than a show person. And so to see a standalone Moon Knight movie, I think that would be great, because there's a lot to flesh out with the character there. We kind of got an introduction right in that short season of the Disney Plus Moon Knight show, but there's so much more you can do with this character, and I want to learn more about the character. So I think a movie would be a fun change of pace, and it would give us something a little bit different, something very exciting. So I would go with a standalone movie. But I still would be fine if the Moon Knight character showed up on another team of sorts. Maybe he'll be part of the new Avengers. So I would be totally down with that as well, as long as we get Moon Knight back in some way, shape, or form. And I think we will. But season 2, I'm just leaning towards a little less likely now. But let me know in the comments below, were you a fan of the Moon Knight season 1? And where would you like to see Moon Knight go next? Would you go a standalone film? Would you go a team up movie? Would you go a season 2? Do you think they're still going to do that? Let me know that in the comments below. Now to get into our fourth mega news topic, and we gotta talk about the trouble that Netflix is in. Ooh, it just doesn't look good for Netflix this month. Let's look at this headline here from Variety. Hollywood nightmare, from Netflix's stock swoon to mass layoffs, anxiety grips industry. So let's read a little bit more. Let's get some more details here. So it says Wall Street darling Netflix lost $54 billion in market value in one day last month amid concerns about a slide in subscriber numbers, and promptly reorganized its marketing department once again, axing writers on its fledgling Tudum fan site 5 months after launch, and the fallout from the Warner Brothers Discovery merger and Amazon's acquisition of MGM has just gotten underway, with top executive Michael DeLuca exiting the later April 27 and squash initiatives at the former. Neither the disrupted nor the disruptors are feeling too good these days. So wow, I mean, it is just not looking good for Netflix at all here. And it's amazing to think about this, because you thought maybe a few years ago that, wow, Netflix was going nowhere. Netflix is the big streaming dog in town, no competition. Netflix is going to be here forever. But remember, there's no company out there that is too big to fail. I mean, we even saw Blockbuster bite the dust, and they were a juggernaut during their time. And so, of course, Netflix can feel the same heat there. And what's tough right now is we're in the streaming wars, and we got a lot of competition now. We got some big players here in this industry really focusing on streaming. And the bad thing here with Netflix is Netflix's only product is their streaming content. That's what Netflix can provide. And so they rely heavily on subscribers. They don't have other products they can sell to really, entice customers to buy into their company. I mean, their subscription model, that's it. That's what they have. And so they're struggling, and they've been struggling too in past years as well, because they spent a lot of money to get the content made for their service, but they were also making a lot of money because they had tons of subscriptions. So while they still have tons of subscriptions, they lost a lot of subscribers. And it makes sense. Subscribers can't subscribe to everything. And since there's so much competition out there, you have to pick and choose the ones you're most likely going to watch, or you maybe jump from one to the next. But there's just so many out there. It's tough for somebody to be subscribed to all of them, especially when a lot of them aren't increasing their prices. Remember, Netflix has often increased their price. And so people are probably just fed up with Netflix, and also Netflix content. I will say they have some pretty good TV shows. I do appreciate their original shows, but their original movies, once in a while they have some good ones, but a lot of them are just like bottom of the barrel, just wow, did I really choose to watch this right now? I felt like I wasted 2 hours. So some of them feel that way. Some of them feel very just kind of cheaply done. It's a Netflix movie, like you know what that feels like. And so yeah, I can see why people are dropping out of being subscribed to them. But I mean, this is just terrible news. I mean, let's look at some of these facts again from the article here. It says Netflix lost 54 billion in market value in one day. Imagine that, one day. I mean, this is devastating. 54 billion, not million, billion. And now you have reorganization going on. They're axing writers from a certain fan site just after 5 months of it launching. So now they're trying to cut costs, and that is not a good idea for mostly any business to do. I know some businesses get scared and they're like, oh, we're not making as much money, so let's start cutting in different areas. Let's cut back the costs. Ooh, well, if you're cutting talent, that can hurt in the long run. And so this may not be a good long-term fix. Ideally, you want the company to be able to grow by making more money. To me, cutting costs is the last place you should go to as a business, because to me, it's not a long-term fix. It's very short gratification there. because it makes it appear like you're making more money in a way because now you don't have to spend as much money. But in the long run, it may not work out how they think it's going to. So, what is Netflix to do? That's the question here. I mean, it's tough because I would say Netflix, you got to get creative. Think of some other products to offer because once again, you're going against these juggernauts here. You have Warner Discovery, which is now a big combo you have to deal with. You're going against Amazon that has tons of stuff to offer. They don't even need their streaming service. People just sign up for Amazon Prime for the shipping. So they're a tough one to deal with. And then you have Apple that has like more money than any company on planet Earth. I think it's still Apple, right? Or is it Amazon now? I think it's Apple. But either way, competition from both. I mean, just tons, and those are just some of the bigger players. I mean, there's a lot of other smaller ones too in the mix that, of course, do take certain subscribers as well. So Netflix, woo! You are in trouble and you need to be getting creative. I would say all your thinking power right now goes to how can I make more quality products? Can I differentiate and make a variety of products in some way? Can Netflix offer something else besides streaming? Now, I have heard that they may try to introduce some other kind of plans, like an ad supported plan, where they get more subscribers that way, because then people will feel like, oh, well, we don't really have to pay as much anymore for Netflix, or maybe not even pay anything at all, but they have to go through ads, and then Netflix makes some money off of the ads. That could be a benefit, that could be a decent strategy, because not only will you get more subscribers, then the view time might actually be worth something because more people watching ads, the ad companies will give you more money. Whereas right now, the view time on Netflix really means nothing. If you say, "Oh, this is the most viewed movie this week," or "This is the most popular show," it it doesn't matter because you want to look at how many subscribers did they get off the show, not how many subscribers already viewed it that have already been there for years and years. That doesn't make a difference to the bottom line for Netflix, to their wallet. They need more subscribers to increase. So that's what they need to focus on. What's the quality, interesting content that's going to get more people to subscribe up, or just some creativity with different product ideas? I know it's risky, either decision they decide, but what's clear is it looks like Netflix kind of reached its peak and now it's decreasing, and you got to do something, Netflix, to survive these streaming wars. Right now, if I had to bet, is Netflix going to be alive at the end of these streaming wars? Are they going to last through all the competition? I don't think so. I think the bigger companies, once again, Discovery with HBO Max now, I think they're going to last. Apple, Amazon, they got tons of money, so they're going to last. To me, those are going to be the big companies. To me, Netflix, no more. Sorry, Netflix, you're not the big dog in town anymore. But let me know in the comments below, do you have some strategy that Netflix could implement to kind of help them gain more subscribers? What would be some of your ideas out there to help that company survive? Or are you not even a subscriber to Netflix? Did you go with some other streaming services yourself? And why did you pick the other ones over Netflix? Let's have that discussion down below. Now to get into our fifth and most important mega movie news topic here, we got to look at the projections for the Doctor Strange 2 box office opening weekend. So let's take a look at this article from Screen Rant. And the headline here is Doctor Strange 2 projected to beat the Batman opening weekend at the box office. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is projected to have the best opening weekend of 2022 so far, with a 175 million 3-day gross. Oh wow, this is excellent here. Let's read a little bit more. Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is projected to have a staggering opening weekend of around 175 million, smashing the Batman's 2022 record. The film, which hits theaters on May 6, 2022, is the second solo film to feature Benedict Cumberbatch's Sorcerer Doctor Strange in the lead after 2016's Doctor Strange, which featured him training under the Ancient One. Despite the gap between the original film and its sequel, the character has only grown in popularity off the back of his appearance in the Avengers crossover films Infinity War and Endgame, as well as the 2021 mega hit Spider-Man No Way Home, which is now the third highest grossing domestic film of all time. So this is great news. I mean, wow, 175 million. That is fantastic. Now, I was projecting a little bit higher in my pre-game show of Doctor Strange 2. If you haven't seen that show yet, I'll definitely link it in the description below. You'll want to check that out before you watch the movie. But I was projecting around 200 million. I was being pretty optimistic, and I still think it can exceed 175 million. I think it's going to push a little bit more above that, and wow, if it did cross that 200 million range, that'd be amazing. But if only it does pass this 175 million range, that's still great. I mean, that's better than the Batman. And this is for a Doctor Strange character. A lot more people know the Batman character rather than a Doctor Strange character. But I think people are still hyped from enjoying No Way Home so much and seeing Doctor Strange in that. Plus you got Sam Raimi back. And of course you got other characters in here too, like Scarlet Witch. So that probably does help it out a little bit. But this is great. This is a good start to the summer box office here. I mean, this is good news for all the movies coming out this summer. It looks like people are excited about going back to the theaters. They're ready for these fun event level films. And so I think this movie is just going to do great overall, because even if it's just at this 175 million projection here, that's still really good. That's something the studio should be very proud of. And if it goes above that, wow, that is just gravy. So I hope it does great, and I hope it's really good quality, so we keep getting more movies like this. We hear good word of mouth from it. It even builds it, and it even has more people go out to the theater. Hopefully for weeks and weeks we get repeat viewings. I know I already want to see it again in another format like 3D. So I think this is really going to help this movie, and it's a possibility that this movie could even get into the top 5 opening weekends for the domestic box office. It's possible. Yeah, it would be a tough challenge, but it is definitely possible. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, see if it does actually get to that accomplishment. But really, when you think about it, this movie could be one of the highest grossing movies of all time. And it's a Doctor Strange movie. Just so impressed by this. But let me know in the comments below, do you think this movie is going to, be higher than its projected 175 million? Do you think we can maybe get past that 200 million mark? Or, you know what? Do you just not really get excited for this movie? I would be surprised. And are you going out to see this movie right away? And do you plan on any repeat viewings? I'd be surprised to hear that as well. So that will do it for another Mega Movie News Roundup. This was episode 21. If you missed some of the last couple episodes, I will link those in the description below. And so make sure you watch those videos if you haven't already. Also, if you're just discovering the channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now so I can keep rounding up all this great movie news for you weekly, getting you all those great movie reviews, rankings, movie hauls, unboxing videos, movie topic videos, you name it, you're going to get all that movie entertainment value here. So turn on that notification bell so you don't miss when I post a video.
Look, there has to be another way!
There isn't.
Also, like the video. And this is Mega Mike the Movie Man, reminding you to make every day a movie day.